Cleveland Browns, Dallas Cowboys, man. This thing lived up to everything it was supposed to be. This game lived up to everything it was supposed to be and more. You know, when I got on these blogs and I did the preview, man, shout out to everybody that checked out this preview, and over 2,000 people checked it out. And people thought I was crazy for talking about the iconic behavior and the iconic, you know, the pageantry and all this other stuff. And people just thought I was a fan. Nah, this guy's talking crazy, man. 2,000 people. Who cares about the Browns? Who cares about the Cowboys? But this game was at one point 41-14. And guess what? Dallas Cowboys stormed all the way back, bro. Stormed all the way back, bro. I was freaking out. I was on the internet. I was on Twitter going crazy. I was doing live streams going nuts. But this game took some time to really break down. I had to debrief. Woosa. Woosa. And it took me some unique angles to get into, pause. It took me a lot of different things to really think about. I had to drive back from Canton. I had to do some new camera angles. And I had to just I had to tell myself, listen, I'm not doing no graphics. I'm not putting nothing in there. It's going to be an intimate setting. And it's going to be you, me, a camera, a light, and breakdown. So this is the place to get the Cowboys versus the Browns breakdown. And this is the barbershop. Let's get it going. First and foremost, I want to shout out a lot of people who checked out the live stream. I think I'm going to go do another live stream tomorrow. I'm going to check out my man Sid. We're going to do a live stream. My boy, my brother Trent, he's going to be on that live stream too. Cowboys for Life live stream. We're going to come in and do another recap. But I wanted to do something just for the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? I had people talk about, G. Bush. He don't even seem like a Browns fan. He don't even be seeming like a Browns fan. First and foremost, I want to get something off my chest before I start. Let me roll my sleeves up a little bit, man. First, I am a fan. The root word of fanatic is fan. But no, I don't classify myself as a traditional fan. And the reason why I can never be a traditional fan, for the first and foremost, is the reason I can never be a traditional fan is because I can't throw logic and reason out the window. First of all, fans usually work 9 to 5s. And fans don't have sleeping disorders. Fans don't have an incessant need to go watch countless hours of tape, film, and learn about the different positions of football and to watch different tendencies and scout people and do all this other stuff. Fans don't got no time for that. They only want to know, did your team win? Did your team lose? And cannot, latch on a hold to one of the favorite players on my team that I think I know something about that cannot like and wear his jersey. That's what it's about. And I get that. I understand that. So no, I don't classify as a traditional fan. I'm not going to root for anybody and be a homer all the time. That's just not what I'm about. Do I get emotional sometime during the game? Sure. But I'm not a traditional fan. I do cover the team for a living. Yes, I do. Let's just cover that, throw that out in the middle. I cover the team. I do the pregame. I do a show in Cleveland and a radio station. So, yeah, you can count me as part of the media. Yes, I am part of the media. Have I grown up covering this team forever? Yes, I have. Not covering it forever, but growing up rooting for only one team, yes. That is me. I grew up in Canton, Ohio, Pro Football Hall of Fame. I played for McKinley Senior High School in McKinley. I can see the Hall of Fame from my bedroom window. Yes, so I am a fan. And I do work for the media in Cleveland. So those are the two things that we talk about. I did play Division I college football. I did go to pro days. I did do tryouts and try to go to the NFL. I have 13 surgeries. So these are all different things that we just throw out there just to say that. Say that to say this. When we took a look at this game and we took a look at a lot of things, this game came down to exactly what I said it was going to come down to. And if you want to go look at the breadcrumbs of my blogs, right? And you want to go back and you want to go take a look at some of my other blogs. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But one of the things that I'll raise my hand and say when I'm right, I'm right, I'm wrong, or I'm wrong. But when you go back and look at these blogs and you go back and look at some of the other stuff, I told you the way things are broken down and the way you got to look at it. The way the Cleveland Browns are built. Yes, it's built on the run game. And you show the Cleveland Browns almost having 300 yards rushing. But if you listen to my radio show, if you listen to my live streams, if you listen to me being on the radio with other people, and you listen to what I've been speaking the whole entire time, I've got on these radio stations and I've told people, it's all fine and dandy. You can run the football. This game was a tale of two halves. Tale of two halves. The first half, the Cleveland Browns came out and ran the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys. There was nothing they could do about it. Kareem Hunt came out there, and in the first half, Kareem Hunt was Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb was Nick Chubb. But when Nick Chubb goes out with the injury, the Cleveland Browns still have one of the best offensive lines and still one of the top 10 running backs in Kareem Hunt, sitting on the bench. But Nick Chubb was not who he was. He goes out of the game. Kareem Hunt was questionable all week with a growing injury. Questionable. Did not practice. So he was only, and if you work and live in Cleveland and you cover the team, you already know his growing was only 75%, right? So that's just a little nugget to keep in contact. But when you got that adrenaline flowing, you're fresh. Who knows if he took a shot? Who knows what he's done treatment-wise to get his body ready to play that game, right? So he's coming out looking like a game buster. He's coming out doing his thing. And he looks fresh, and the Cleveland Browns look like they're unstoppable. Kevin Stefanski. You look like you got to coach Cleveland. You look like you got to coach Cleveland. You look like you got to coach Cleveland. Because you know what? Kevin Stefanski did something. Kevin Stefanski did something that nobody else in Cleveland, including every idiot in the media, has said you shouldn't do. You know, sometimes you should leave it up to the professionals, right? If you want to engineer, you got to put the work in to be an engineer. If you want to engineer, you got to go to school for 4 years, and that's just a bachelor. Then you got to go get your master's. And then sometimes if you really want to be a rocket scientist, you got to go get that PhD. And then you got to sit up underneath another guy as an apprentice for a while. See, if you really want to be about something, you got to go put them hard years in. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback until you ain't really studied no film work, until you don't know what nobody does, until you only know and you only follow the quarterback because you got two fantasy quarterbacks and you got two fantasy teams and you won your league team 2.5 years ago. I've heard countless weeks. I've heard countless weeks on these blogs. Countless weeks. Don't force the ball to OBJ. Don't force the ball to OBJ. Forcing the ball to OBJ makes Baker look bad. Forcing the ball to OBJ is the reason Baker's accuracy is bad. Forcing the ball to OBJ is the reason Kevin Stefanski is a brilliant man. And forcing the ball to OBJ is the reason the Cleveland Browns have a win today. Right? Because here's the thing. Kevin Stefanski knows his team didn't have it today. You say, what do you mean, G. Bush? They had 41 points. His team didn't have it today. What are you talking about? You're losing us here, G. Bush. It's a difference between novices, moderates, and savants. He understands that he had to play the game a certain way. I see people talking about the defense played horrible. Are you serious? I'll give them a standing ovation because the second half, the Dallas Cowboys put it together. And they said, oh, we know what y'all doing now. We know what you're running now. Oh, we got you right where you wanted to. You see that they was running up and down the field? They understood exactly what the Cleveland Browns were doing. See, I said earlier, you didn't catch it. It was the best of times in the first half. It was the worst of times, right? A tale of two cities. But some of y'all don't read anything around here. You just read the comics. Get your reading up. Kevin Stefanski understood early. His defense had one good half in him. He said, I can't stop those receivers all game. I better pick and choose my battles. See, you choose wisely your battles. He understood that he needed OBJ today because he knew He knew Kareem Hunt, 75% at best. If you don't know, as a guy who covers the team, Jarvis Landry's been playing at 60% all year. Jarvis Landry's playing 60% all year. He can't run a route over 20 yards. But you know what he did early? Let me get Odell together. Let me get a trick play together for Odell, right? Let me get him to play together. Have you noticed something? He knew Baker didn't have it all game. He knew Baker didn't have the accuracy all game. Baker didn't throw an intermediate route over 25 yards. Everything was underneath, right? Didn't have it. When he saw Chubb go out of the game, he said, I got to move on the run. I got to think of something. He got two running backs. One was on the fishing squad. No conditioning. Hilliard and Johnson started running the ball. And then Kareem Hunt, he pulls his groin again. We don't have him available. And here's where it comes down to it. Pivotal play of the game. Defense is tired, gassed. Cowboys figured it out. Dak Prescott is like, psst, you know what, Zeke Elliott, you know what, we're going to have to throw the ball. Let's go no huddle. They figured it out. I give Dallas credit. They said, let's go no huddle. Pull the Jim Kelly playbook. Get Amari Cooper open. They found the Jim Kelly playbook, no huddle, gassing them. First half, Cleveland has the lead. When you're not going to give up anything deep. So what they found was if we can keep them, if we can get them to go 3 and out, now Cleveland has to keep going. Now Cleveland's right back on the field. We can gas them. We can now get the ball back and continue to get the ball back. And guess what? As a defensive lineman, you're out there sucking air. It's still only the 4th game of the year. Conditioning is not where it needs to be, especially when you don't have anything as far as your conditioning is ready to go, especially you're too deep. Vernon just came back. His conditioning is poor. He just came back. A lot of those guys have been in and out of the Mac Wilson, in and out of the lineup. So I'll give him credit. That was the adjustment. Let's go fast. Dak Prescott. They started running him on the draw plays. Key first downs with that. And then they got Amari Cooper open more. Get him on sideline routes. They got back in the game. They're used to playing from behind with the games that they've been playing. And now we got a ball game. They get the game down the game down to about 3 points. And now everything is on the line. Comes down to a pivotal. Now I'll backtrack a little bit before we get to the play, the play of the game with OBJ. And this is what I've talked about before. I've talked about this ad nauseum before. We're talking about a situation I've talked about this. I said many times, it's going to come a point in time, and I'm not beating a dead horse here. I'm not. I like him too. I like him, and my partner Jonathan Peterlin said something today. Lots of people like Baker Mayfield. You know why? Because if you saw him in a grocery store, you could swear up and down it could be your paper boy, the kid down the street that graduated and you're just a round the way guy. I get it. That's the reason he's very marketable. That's the reason Progressive and every other commercial it advertises with him. He's a very marketable person. I graduated with a marketing degree. They pick people that's identifiable. He moves emotions, right? Because he is very identifiable to a large segment of the population, whether it be black, white, multiple different religious people, over a large spectrum area. And I even find myself, when he has the football, I root harder for him. I root harder for Baker than I've done Derek Anderson, Johnny Manziel, Bernie Kosar, Testaverde, anybody. I root harder for Baker than I do anybody on the field. When Baker makes a play, I know he's not as talented as Jarvis or anybody we've ever had, or OBJ or Myles Garrett, but I root harder for Baker than I do anybody else because he's more relatable than anybody else. But the play before OBJ takes it to the house on a reverse, a key pivotal play. Cover 2. OBJ makes a double move, breaks free, and it's a play every quarterback practices before practice. And it's called dropping it in the bucket. It's a play where you throw the ball and you're fit in between a corner, in between the corner and in front of the safety, and they say drop it in the bucket. And they practice it at every single level, in high school, in college, and if you can't make that throw, you can't get drafted. And he airmailed it. And the commentator said, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. That's game, set, match. We don't got to go no further. Get off the sticks. Do not collect go. Do not go to jail. Do not collect $200. It's done. And at some point in time, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be a Pittsburgh game, it may not be a Baltimore game, but I'm just making you aware of it. That's going to cost you. And it's not me trying to, rain on your parade or make you feel bad or be a Debbie Downer or why you beating us up when we 3-1. As a sports fan, you can be a person who tells and breaks down stuff for you. That's my job, is to break stuff down for you, right? If you don't want me to break it down, there's lots of other avenues and different places you can go where they give you roses and tulips and all that other stuff and rub your shoulders and stuff. But kids watch cartoons, but at one point in time, you grow up and you get to be about 6th grade and they tell you, hey, there's no such thing as nap time. There's no such thing as recess no more, and you don't get gym class no more. They kind of mold you and shape you and say there's no such thing as the tooth fairy, the Easter bunny, right? As sports fans, certain things don't happen. There's no curses. There's no football gods. It's about the work you put in and can you play or not, right? And so at the end of the day, the Browns got the win today, but it comes back to haunt you. One day, either he's going to have to make that throw or you're going to be on a chat list, in a comment section, finally coming to the conclusion saying, you know what? I thought he was the guy and I was really in his corner. And you'll be last to the party, disappointed. Either today, tomorrow, or next week. But that's the throw he has to make. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, the Dallas Cowboys are the same way. Yeah, you guys got back into that game. But so what? So what? Who cares? You can't let nobody get 300 yards like that. There's no way you can let third-team running backs, guys off boats, get 300 yards, man. 300? That's great. Alden Smith and Lawrence and all these guys, and I seen Don Terry Poe out there. How good is it that you guys are trying to get sacks? Defensive linemen do two things. You don't get just paid for sacks. You get paid to tackle people in the backfield. You get paid to get penetration. You get paid to get off blocks. You're 1-3. And for everything that's being said down there, Dak Prescott ain't your problem. Dak Prescott ain't your problem. All this nonsense about quarterbacks and Romo, and you guys worry about receivers and quarterbacks too much. I done heard about Terrell Owens and Romo and Dak Prescott and Cooper. Y'all talk about them. But up front, you got dominated today. And to be truthful, you guys could be 0-4. And I'm not hating on none of the above. I'm not hating on you, right? You ain't suckers. You ain't suckers, because you could have folded the tents up and quit at 41-14. You ain't got no quit in you. You came back and you fought and you did your thing. But you know, the stuff that Jason Garrett was doing, Jason Garrett wouldn't have got no 41-14 put him on him like that. He wouldn't have got no 41-14. He wouldn't have got no gravy put on him like that. And for everything, Mike, you know, your boy Mike on the sidelines, you know, he's still riding that white tiger. He's still riding that Aaron Rodgers white tiger. And I get it. I get it. You know, I get what you're saying. It's going to have to come a point in time with them. They're going to have to decide. Y'all going to be throwing the ball 60 times or y'all going to hand the ball to Zeke? What it's going to be. What it's going to be. In the words of Michael Jackson, y'all going to have to look at the man in the mirror. And with that being said, you know, I broke it down and did to both sides and gave you that prognostication. But how about them brownies? We 3-1. We 3-1. As always, I'm going to just take the dub. Y'all got all them Super Bowl rings. I salute you. I salute them rings. That 3-1, I'm going to take that and get the hell up out of Dallas. Salute to OBJ. And you thought I was going to forget that reverse? The genius of Kevin Stefanski was, he knew Baker didn't have nothing left in the tank. He knew nothing. You talking about you don't force no ball to OBJ. He said, you crazy? That's all we got left. Hey, OBJ, last ditch effort. We just gonna hand you the rock, dog. We just gonna hand you the rock. You fools running around here talking that conservative yin yang. If you got you a playmaker, you got. Let me situate myself because I got autofocus. You don't want to force the ball to LeBron James. 4 titles. You don't want to force the ball to Lou Alcindor. I don't think you should force the ball to that guy back there. That guy Bo Jackson. You're forcing it to him. Why would you just let that guy Lawrence Taylor just rush freely off the end? I think you should just have him preoccupy the lineman and have that other guy come free. Why would you throw the ball up to Randy Moss? You're forcing it to him. I'm going to need you to check you guys' resumes. You know why you force it to him? Because ain't nobody else out there right now, and we need somebody. Kevin Stefanski, you, my guy, have done something none of the other idiots here in Cleveland have done. You're not Kevin. You're not Eric Mangini. You're not Chris Palmer. You didn't go get the Boy Scouts. You know what you did? You didn't do what none of these fools did. You know what? We got Nick Chubb. I think we should just trade Kareem Hunt. Just trade him for some, maybe he might get in trouble again. We could just trade him. I think, you know how many calls I fielded in 2019 about trading Kareem Hunt? You did the right thing. You know what you did? You gave him another contract. When people asked to trade OBJ, you know what you did? You said, hey, man. When they was like, you know what your offense should be? Just hand the ball off every play. You know what you came out in the media and said? Well, pump the brakes there. Let's pump the brakes there, people. Let's pump them a little bit. Our offense is, we're going to fold these guys in. We think we got two good guys on the outside, too. Fools. I think I did a blog about that, too. I didn't say it. Kevin Stefanski said it. Don't hate me. Don't hate the messenger. And he saved our asses today. Because that game was getting tight as a size 12 shoe wearing a 16 long, buddy. I'm going to just take this win and get up out of here. For all you other guys, for all you other conservative Joes that would have liked to have the fullback in the flat open, for all you conservative Joes that would have liked to nickel and dime the ball up the field to the tight end because you don't want to force the ball to the $75 million a year acrobatic flipping purple hair guy that can make the play, I'm sure you won't be commenting in sections anytime soon. You'll just wait till he wears a watch. Oh, I forgot he wasn't wearing a watch. He hasn't worn a watch in a long time. As always, I'll take the 3-1. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check me out tomorrow, 8:30. Browns 3-1. You've been waiting for this. It's the barbershop, baby.